We got 3 videos in one today. How to get Necrochasm, how to get the Catalyst, and is this thing actually good? Let's go. How do you get Necrochasm? After doing Crota's End, you'll get a quest that starts with getting 100 hive kills with Husk of the Pit, with kills in Crota's End counting for more progress. After that, it's rather simple, actually. You just need 20 Essence of Oversoul from Crota's End. They drop 1 per week per account, according to Bungie, with a small chance to drop randomly when you beat an encounter. I'm not exactly sure what the rates are, but they definitely don't drop from every encounter completion, meaning that this is going to take several weeks and or many clears of Crota's End in order to obtain. However, you can speed this process up by doing Crota's End triumphs, with several of them giving 1 essence on completion. How do you get the Catalyst? Within Crota's End are 2 plates to stand on. One is after the bridge encounter, and one is after Ute. Stepping on this plate while holding Necrochasm triggers an event that requires you to kill various amounts of gatekeepers. For the bridge area, they are spread out on both sides of the bridge. You have 90 seconds to kill them all, which should be more than enough time. For the Ute area, you also have 90 seconds, but you don't start with swords. You'll need to kill sword bearers to get the swords, and then find gatekeepers around the area. They're pretty much everywhere. I think some of them are even up in the wizard rooms above the Crota Crystal. The final batch of them will spawn in the middle. Sorry, my footage of this is not spectacular, but they're everywhere. You know, just go look for them. After this second plate sequence, you will get the Catalyst, but the Catalyst requires even more essence to unlock, of which they are earned the same way. The Catalyst for the gun gives it Outlaw, which, given the perk of the weapon, it's based on reloading, isn't a bad boost. But it's just how much work it is to unlock, combined with the fact that the weapon already reloads itself pretty quickly. Something like Ambitious Assassin might have been a little more appealing, or even Sword Logic, but I'll talk about why Sword Logic is probably nowhere to be seen on this thing. So let's talk about the gun itself now. The major perks on the gun are the following. Precision Final Blows trigger a Cursed Thrall explosion, with kills from the Cursed Thrall explosion refilling the magazine, and reloading after a Precision Final Blow or getting a Cursed Thrall explosion kill increases the rate of fire, stability, and aim assist of the weapon. Necrochasm is a kinetic weapon. It was an arc weapon in Destiny 1, however the Cursed Thrall explosions are considered arc damage. So the gun itself is a 720 RPM kinetic auto rifle, and it performs like a 720 RPM auto rifle performs. The weapon I am comparing to is Quicksilver Storm, as it is also a 720 RPM auto rifle. Quicksilver is one of my favorite weapons, and a weapon I believe to be one of the strongest in the entire game. Necrochasm does a bit more damage per bullet because it's kinetic to Quicksilver's strand, unless you don't use the Quicksilver Catalyst for whatever reason. However, Quicksilver gets its micro rockets on sustained fire, which makes up for some of this deficit. It also gets the grenade launcher, which puts it just entirely in a league of its own. Necrochasm is a gun that has one goal, and one goal only. Kill red bar enemies or low health enemies. That is pretty much it as far as I'm concerned, because that is the only thing that this gun is good at. Its entire exotic flavor and power comes from getting as many precision kills as you can possibly get with the gun. That's where all of its strength lies. Precision kills and getting those explosions and desperation to proc. This is not a boss killing weapon. This is barely an orange bar killing weapon. Anything that does not have a red health bar is pretty much going to get ignored by me unless I have desperation active, in which case I will shoot at some lower health orange bar enemies. That is it. I think this has been one of the easiest exotics that I've ever had to analyze in PvE, because it is just a very one-dimensional weapon, and sometimes there really isn't that much more to say. It lives and dies by precision kills, and it lives and dies by being able to tag other enemies with Cursed Thrall explosions, or even kill them. It gets to excel in low and mid-tier content where enemies are easy to kill and explosions are common, but it is not something I plan to take into higher-end content when something like Quicksilver Storm not only exists, but excels. That being said, Necrochasm has an interaction with Necrotic Grip, where Cursed Thrall explosions that do not kill a target will actually poison enemies that it hits, making it an even better option for AoE effects, as if Necrotic Grip needed another weapon to pair up with to spread poison everywhere. Does Necrochasm beat out Osteostriga or anything like that? I don't necessarily think so. I think it's just a different option to play around with. It also has some interactions with Arc subclasses and various Arc mods in general due to the explosions being Arc, but I don't really consider any of these said interactions to be very groundbreaking, like the Cursed Thrall explosion getting boosted by Arc Surge as an example. It works with Spark of Discharge to spawn Ionic Traces as well, among a couple of other things. Now we enter the world of PvP, where things get a bit more interesting, but if you're me, also a little bit depressing. I played for about 3 to 4 hours, a mix of Iron Banner and Clash, and saw an average of 1 Cursed Thrall explosion kill per game. If that. Regular control is probably going to yield more kills, but that wasn't around when I was playing. It's fun, but it is rare, and is not the sole reason that I would run this weapon. The reason you want to run this weapon is for Desperation, the increase in the rate of fire of the weapon after reloading after a precision kill. You do get Desperation after a Cursed Thrall kill as well, but again, that's very rare. Desperation's rate of fire increase is very significant in the PvP world, going from 720 to 900 RPM, but you maintain the same amount of damage. As you can imagine, this gives you a massive advantage over your opponents. If. The key factor here is if. If you are able to take advantage with Desperation. If you are able to get Cursed Thrall kills. If. It really felt like every time I had Desperation active, the game teleported everyone within 50 meters of me out of harm's way. At most, I was able to chain together 2 kills before time ran out, regardless if I continued to get headshot kills. My luck with actually getting to use the perk while it was active was way rarer than I wanted it to be. My ability to proc Desperation in the first place was only a few times per match if I was lucky. I'm sure that in the right hands, this is a very large amount of power. Everyone keeps telling me that. Unfortunately, I don't own the correct hands. And for me, the experience was novel at best. Again, I had a 3 to 4 hour play session with this thing in Iron Banner Fortress and Clash. How many Cursed Thrall kills did I get? Maybe 2 to 4. I think the most amount of Desperation kills I got in a single game was maybe 3 to 5. It did not dramatically affect my ability to kill opponents, and I feel that I could put on the same performances, if not better performances, just using a different gun altogether. It was simply way too easy for people to disengage with me when starting or in the middle of combat even, and if there's enough cover nearby, which there usually is, there's not a whole lot you can do about people just running away from you. When you do have Desperation, it's a bit harder, but still very possible to run away. Also, sometimes you need to regenerate your health before you want to engage with another target, and by the time you're done regenerating your health, the perk will time out. Do I think that this gun in a head-to-head, just purely the gun, is better than something like, I don't know, the Amit AR2, which is currently ruling the auto rifle world? Not really. You have to play with this thing in SMG range a decent amount of the time, but you just get outclassed by SMGs. You try to play with this thing in auto rifle ranges, you're outclassed by Amit. I just always happened to find the death zone in my engagements. I was too close to fight against SMGs. I was too far to fight against autos and pulses. For the life of me, I just could not make this thing work. I could not go on any sort of a crazy spree with this gun. Your results may vary because you're probably a better PvPer than I am, and I would consult with your local PvP expert to see if Necrochasm is right for you. Side effects may include literally everyone on the map vanishing the moment you get a headshot kill. inability to finish kills with Desperation active, and Desperation finding you in real life because you are just trying to get one kill with the stupid perk on. I know the thing works in the right hands. I do. Because I had someone on my team in the last games that I was playing using it, and they were slaying out. I think they got almost 50 kills. I hear it from my friends that it works. I am not that guy. I wished to be that guy my entire life. I'm just not that guy. If you are that guy, then enjoy Necrochasm, because I'm sure it's a lot of fun. Me, I'm good. I'm just going to go back to Revision 0. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.